What's up, guys? How are you? Happy Saturday. Welcome into another episode of the Daily Juice Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Perrault. You guys can follow me across all my socials at Sports Talk Matt. And last night was either 2-2 or 1-2, depending upon did you bet the second period over like I told you to. First period under, second period over. Both those bets cashed. If you do that, we were down small because the WNBA play, Connecticut was always the worry. Connecticut didn't score any points. They got blown out by the Vegas Aces, who, by the way, the bet should have been Vegas -6. That should have been the bet. That's my bad on that. I liked Vegas. Bad bet. Should have bet the over. I should have bet not the over. I should have bet -6. And instead I bet the over. Stupid play by me. So that was bad. And then the Red Sox and the Reds hit 5 home runs, and the game went under. 5 solo shots. That's just bad luck. I mean, there's nothing that was handicapped properly. That's just bad luck. Like, there's no other way around it. They scored 5 runs in the first 4 innings, all on solo shots. 5-2 final. We bet over 9, so we lost on that. But first period under, second period over for the hockey game in High Edmonton. Monday is going to be a trip. Game 7 for history. Can they become the first hockey team since 1942 in the Cup Finals to rally down 0-3? To win a series 4-3 would be unbelievable from a collapse perspective for the Florida Panthers. Oh my. What a game. What a win. What a game Monday is going to be. It's going to be a ton of fun. We get one more hockey game, and the best thing in hockey, a Game 7. And a Game 7 to see if the Panthers can avoid becoming, well, a footnote in history. 1942. Toronto did it in 1942. Other than that, it's never been done in the Cup Finals. One team has come back down 0-3. Could Edmonton be the second? So, 2-2. I'll call it 2-2 for the night. We go to Saturday. 2 baseball plays, 1 UFC play. Let's start with the UFC fight night. It's over in Saudi Arabia, so this is going to be a fight card that's going to start at a little bit of a weird time. So just take a look at the start time here for this on ABC for UFC Fight Night in Australia. I want to look at the co-main. Volkov against Pavlovich. So Sergey is a machine. He really has been just tremendous. He's 18-2. Average fight time is 2:13. This guy lost his last fight to Tom Aspinall, but beat Blades, beat Tuivasa, beat Lewis. Has some pretty good names on his resume. Volkov, equally good names on his resume, beating Romanov and Tuivasa. Rosenstrike lost also to Tom Aspinall in the first round, much similar to Sergey. But these two guys used to train with each other. And there's something interesting about the time for Alexander Volkov. His average fight time is 12:43. I know in heavyweights it can be difficult here, and it can be dangerous to go ahead and bet on overs. But the rounds, it's a 3-round fight, okay? It's over 1.5 rounds at plus money. It's plus 116 for the over 1.5 rounds. Now, that's the full first round and 2.5 minutes into the second round. We have to get to that basically, that magic 2:30 mark in round 2. I don't know if these guys are going to come out swinging with each other. Now, Pavlovich is a pretty big favorite, 225 favorite. Volkov's a pretty big dog here. I do think betting on heavyweight underdogs is a pretty good play. But the stats are kind of stark, are pretty glaring to me. You look at strikes landed per minute. Pavlovich is 8.2. Volkov is 5.1. Striking accuracy, 57% to 48%. And defense, 54% to 55%. Strikes absorbed, just 3 for Volkov. So you can throw at this guy, but he's not hittable. You don't hit him all that much. I think there's real value here on the over. Last fight against Tuivasa, we went to the second round, 4:37 of the second round for Volkov. The 3 fights before that were all first-round knockouts. So it was 2 wins and a loss. Or 1 submission, sorry, two knockouts in 1 submission. But he had a decision against Tybura. He went 5 rounds against Cyril Gane. Went over 2 rounds against Alistair Overeem. Now, that's back in 2021. But I don't know how aggressive Volkov's going to be here, okay? I don't know how we're going to see these guys come out and just start swinging with each other and going nuts. I think that there's a real opportunity here to bet. Now, you could bet to start the second round. If you want to bet that, it's minus 126 at FanDuel. That's not a bad way to play. If you want to bet they'll start the third round, that's plus 170. So somewhere in the second round, this fight is going to begin. I'll take the shot here at plus 116 that we get 2.5 minutes, that it doesn't end quickly in the second round. Again, you can bet you want to lay the juice at minus 126. You can do that, but I'll lay the 1 unit down to win 1.16 with the over 1.5 rounds in the co-main event between two guys who know each other in Volkov and Pavlovich. And I think a fight that very well might go deeper than people think. So Pavlovich is a power puncher, but I could see him winning on the cards. I can see this going all 3 rounds. It's not like you're going to have a massive firefight here. That's just not what Volkov does. It'll be very interesting to see how aggressive these guys are going to be, given that Volkov's seen a lot of fights that have gone into the third round. 12:43 average fight time for him is quite remarkable. And yes, things have been going faster of late in 2022 and 2023. I got you there. But again, his last fight went into the second round, 4:37 done into the second round when he defeated Tai Tuivasa by a submission. I'm going over 1.5 rounds in Fight Night Saudi Arabia for the UFC. Over 1.5 rounds at plus 116. Okay, to baseball. Zach Wheeler's on the mound for the Phillies. Zach Wheeler lost his last start. He was horrific. He gave 8 earned runs in 4 1/3 innings worth of work. He was good against the Red Sox, 7 innings pitched, just 1 earned run. But at home, where he is today, 3-1 win, 5-2 win, 4-2 win. 3 straight run line victories for Zach Wheeler. At home, Zach Wheeler has a 1.71 ERA. He's 5-2 with an opposing batting average of 171, just 10 earned runs given up in 52 2/3 innings worth of work, 61 Ks opposite 15 walks for Zach Wheeler. He's been tremendous at the bank at home this year. Yesterday, the Phillies lost to the Diamondbacks 5-4. The Phillies, well, since the London trip, they've been kind of up and down. They lost 2 straight now. Lost to the Padres 5-2 and the Diamondbacks 5-4. Phillies will face up against Tommy Henry, left-handed pitcher, and we know the Phillies can hit lefties. He's a guy on the road this year, has a 3.44 ERA. He's 2-0, opposing batting average of 240, 18 Ks to 8 walks, 18 1/3 innings worth of work. He's given up 7 runs, 4 home runs in a home run hitting ballpark. He's much worse at home. 9.37 ERA at home for Tommy Henry. But up against Zach Wheeler, this is not the guy I think you want to be throwing. He lost his last start 9-2 to the White Sox. The White Sox beat the Padres, but then lost to the Dodgers 8-4. Those were home games. Won on the road 9-3. He won 14-1 against the Cardinals, and he won against the Rockies 5-3. Lost to the Braves on the road 6-5. But this is too tough a matchup here. In fact, I think we can go run line here. 3 straight run line wins for Zach Wheeler at home for the Phillies. Let's see these bats come to life for Philadelphia and score some runs here and even up this series at 1 game apiece. You can lay it if you want to lay just the money line price, but it's over $2. It's expensive to do this, so I think you have to kind of take a shot on the run line rather than get involved heavily here. It's only minus 105, so I think it's a decent shot. It's minus 245 on the money line. That's expensive. It's more expensive than I ever recommend you guys playing. Phillies run line, minus 105, 1.05 units, laying the 1.5 runs for Philadelphia. And finally, Nick Pavetta's on the mound for the Red Sox. They lost yesterday. They had their 5-game win streak snapped by the Reds. We talked about it. We were on the over. It's a 5-2 win for Cincinnati. This is a guy who's won 3 straight starts, 7-3, 8-6, 9-0. Nick Pivetta getting up 7 earned runs and 18 innings worth of work so far in the month of June. He's a guy that on the road this year hasn't been horrible. He's been better at home on the road than at home. 3.21 ERA, 3-2. Opposing batting average of 240, 10 earned runs in 28 innings worth of work, 26 Ks, just 3 walks for Nick Pivetta here for the Red Sox. And look, I think Boston can bounce right back here after losing 5-2 in the first time. They'll go up against Frankie Montas, a guy who the Yankees thought was going to be good, and he really wasn't. He's lost 4 of his last 5 starts. He's given up, a bunch of earned runs every time. 7 earned runs given up in June in 13 1/3 innings worth of work. In the month of May, he gave up 15 earned runs in 27 2/3 innings worth of work. He's won 1 game in the month of June and the month of May. Lost every start in May, went 0-5. He's 1-2 so far here during this month of June, but 3 earned runs and 4 earned runs given up. He only lasted 1 1/3 innings against the Cubs in his last home start. He got tattooed in a 4-2 loss to Chicago. The bullpen wasn't bad for the Reds in that game, but they yanked him in the second inning, and they lost the game 4-2. Red Sox are minus 120 on the money line. Not expensive. Just take Boston and bounce back. I like the Red Sox, minus 120, 1.2 units down on Boston to beat the Reds today. Okay? Over in the co-main, over 1.5 rounds at plus 116 for 1 unit. Phillies run line, minus 105 at 1.05 units down. And the Red Sox money line at minus 120, 1.2 units down on that. Those are our plays for Saturday. Hopefully we can have a hot Saturday, Sunday. Let's see if we can get out of this week a winner. We're still losing for the week. Let's see if we can have a winning week here on the weekend. My name is Matt Perrault. Follow me across all socials every single morning. Wherever your podcasts, go and find it. It's the Daily Juice.